Welcome to episode 175 of Folks Talking Sports. I am KG Chris Gardner, and with me is Kenitra Pulliams. How are you doing, KP?
Doing well, guys. How are y'all?
Doing well. AJ Jones, Mr. Producer, how are you, sir?
What's up? What's up?
Willie Gibson, how are you, sir?
Fantastic. How's everybody?
And from the AdMax Corner, AD Moore, how are you, sir?
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen.
And Kim Davis, she would have joined us, but she is with the Astros at their media dinner in Florida for the spring training. So she would have been here, but got the invite, and you know, she's there. Understandable.
Did she get a ride on Jim Crane's plane? Did she get to ride on the plane?
I didn't ask for that.
Easy.
Years past, journalists got that treatment years ago, long time ago. Yep.
Come on, man.
Been that long.
Planes and stuff like that. Easy.
But, the Rockets Rockets and Oilers way back when. Yeah, that was you were a beat writer. That was one of the perks in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
All right. Since he is in the corner there, he gets to cover James Harden. Willie Gibson. What point would James flame out? First round, second round? What point would it be?
Define flame out.
Do what he does. Not show up in the playoffs. Game 7, Game 6, Game 5, whatever. You pick.
Well, here's the thing. We talked. I heard the conversation offline, and I think the difference is in this scenario, this isn't James's team. He's a piece. This is Donovan's team. So, I mean, the expectations. While yes, he's expected to produce, he's not carrying the load here in Cleveland. So, I think that's the difference in years past.
AJ, what do you say to that?
I hear Willie, and I hope that's the case. My concern is not so much whether it's his team or he's going to take the lead or what have you. My concern is whether he can be, when I say coached, I don't mean by the head coach. I mean, he didn't like it when his Brody got in his face, when Westbrook got in his face. He didn't like when Chris Paul corrected him. My question is, has he matured to a point where a Donovan Mitchell can say, "Yo, dog, we're not doing that right now. It's not sandlot ball. It's we running these plays, and I need you to run the plays." Can he handle that kind of correction, which he did not handle very well here? I don't know how he did with it elsewhere.
And here's the other great equalizer. He's playing for a contract. The Cavs can pay him $13 million and he can go away at the end of the season. So he's playing for his money right now. So I think that's another determining factor as well.
So you're saying he has to play nice?
He's playing for a contract right now. I'll say that.
He has to be a teammate.
Yeah.
KP, what do you think James is going to do?
What do I think?
No, KP first.
No, I was just saying, again, you have to fit into or act like you're buying into the culture, the team, the organization, because you're not going. You get nothing done. This isn't tennis. This is a team sport. So,
Mr. Moore, your thoughts?
I think his first utterance is going to be about his minutes, because if he's not getting his minutes, then that means he can't get out there and do all the other things that he wants to do or could do or should have done. So I think the first thing out of his mouth is probably going to be about his minutes. And hey, good for James. If James can pull him another contract like Kirk Cousins pulled from the Atlanta Falcons, so be it. Let him go for it. And you know what? If they can get that, if he can get him another bag, all power to him.
And the quote from James, excuse me, for me, it's always about I don't lose focus on trying to compete for a championship and then financially making sure that my family is taken care of. You know what I mean? Because I'm very smart, I've sacrificed a lot financially, which I don't get credit for that. That don't get talked about, but I'm fulfilled and I'm happy with it. End quote. Thoughts? Sacrificing is all relative. Go ahead, AJ. What were you gonna
I
say?
hear a lot of red flags in that, man. I hear a lot of red flags. And I promise you, I'm not holding him to his past. I'm hoping that he has matured. I'm hoping that he is seeing this as another chance and possibly his last chance. And so my grandmother said that I live by to this day. If you cook the meat right, it will make its own gravy. If he does the right things in Cleveland, then everything that he talked about, hopefully with the right spirit in that comment, will come to pass. His family will be taken care of. Contracts will be taken care of. Hell, he might win a ring in Cleveland.
Nope.
He might.
He might, but he won't.
I'm just saying.
I'm being petty
I
right
know
now.
you're
He
being
won't.
Detroit
Right, of course.
basketball.
Detroit, Boston, New York. Pick a team, not Cleveland.
To Willy's point, he's got guys who can get it done if he just plays his role. We talked about before the show started that if Chris Paul doesn't go down, we might have a whole different conversation going on right now. So he's got guys that if he plays his role and is not a negative influence in the locker room, on the court, on that team, everything he's looking for could come to pass this season.
What Will said, AJ, what you said, that sounds lovely and wonderful and beautiful and with the roses and all those things. Has James, to this point, done that in his NBA career? A leopard? What is it?
Leopard can't change the stripes, but he ain't no leopard. So
people
do
James,
change.
hell of a talent.
I'm different. I believe people. KP, do you believe people can change?
Yeah.
I believe people can change.
Bless you.
Oh, all of us can change, but I mean, do we want to change? What's the incentive?
He just said he got to take care of his family. They hungry. He got to take care.
Yeah.
He got to feed his family.
Okay, Latrell
sacrificed a lot financially.
Latrell Sprewell. I mean,
NBA
taking care of your family.
But
he left money on the table.
No.
He took lesser deals so that other folks could get paid. I mean, we know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, if that's his focus, then he's going to be a problem in Cleveland. If his desire and his priority is to fit in and be the best James he can be inside the Cleveland system, he's going to be just fine.
But if I'm Cleveland, I want to keep Donovan Mitchell long term. I'm not giving James Harden what he wants financially.
Yes, you are, because of what you just said.
No.
You just said it. You just said it.
What? What's that?
What did you just say?
Donovan Mitchell.
Keep him happy, right?
In order to keep him.
Donovan going to the Knicks, ain't he?
No.
No?
No.
Donovan, so you want to give Donovan and James $50 million a piece?
It's not what I want to. It's what you just said. To keep Donovan happy, if James comes in here and does what he's supposed to do, they're going to re-sign it. If he doesn't, like I said earlier, Dan Gilbert has no problem writing a $13 million check to make this go away.
How old is James Harden?
Say it again?
How old is James Harden?
He's 36. He's 36.
And I'm not paying anybody 36, 37, $50 million a year.
But Chris, to your own point,
especially one who has a playoff flameout record like James Harden does.
But we're talking about after this season. We have to see what he does. This is if Cleveland wins the chip, Dan Gilbert has no problem writing that check. If Cleveland doesn't win the chip, Dan Gilbert has no problem writing a $13 million check to make him go away. Period.
Go ahead, AJ.
I was just going to say, to your point, if Donovan Mitchell says, hey, I need you to take care of James so we can run this back, or, if they, go deep into the playoffs or, God forbid, win it, and Donovan Mitchell says, yeah, I want James Harden on this team, he's that dude. He's got that voice. And Dan Gilbert's got the money.
Yep.
And oh yeah, by the way, if they get to that point, then he will have results as well. So it could happen. Will it? Come on, what are the lottery numbers? But it's another chance for James Harden that he better not blow, or he's on his way to Utah with everybody else.
Oh, send him to the Wizards.
Why Utah?
That's where they're sending people who.
Oh, is Utah considered the Siberia of the NBA now?
Send him to the Wizards.
You ain't know?
Oh, Wizards, man, that's AD and Trae Young.
Yeah, but they're both not playing this year, so they can sit out together.
New Jersey, Brooklyn.
But
tell Tony stop listening too close to me. I did
No,
say.
I was waiting on that because I had
God
it too.
forbid. Yeah, why you put that out there?
Why? God forbid, man.
Tony and Willy, I'm from Cincinnati, so it's hard for me to root for Cleveland stuff. So that's what that's for.
All right, Sam White, you don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
That leads into what Utah's doing, what the Wizards are doing. Does the NBA have a tanking problem?
Jeez.
A problem? No, but they just said quiet part out loud. Everybody taking, yeah.
But Commissioner Silver said this year, what Utah did, sitting down their best players in the fourth quarter, is an example of the worst it's been. Y'all agree with that assessment?
I think that's recency bias. I'm sure there's been worse.
Facts.
So is there a problem with tanking?
Which year?
I'm talking about right now. Right now, people are complaining much. The complaints are much louder this year, so much that they're saying they're looking at all options to fix it. So now we're going to talk about.
Is it tanking?
Well, I mean,
is it load management?
Is it tank? Yeah, Let's. Hey, thanks, KP. Let's go back to that word load management, because I think how are you gonna switch from load management to tanking? Because that's been the case. All right. Let's really go ask the question. Are 82 games too much for these guys now? When the other guys had played it and for much less money and not nearly the injury situation, the soft tissue injuries.
Much
now
less.
you got everything. So let's go back. Let's ask that question.
82 games isn't too long, and they're not going to cut off that revenue source by shortening the season. Some media folks keep putting it out there. That's not going to happen. They're not going to cut it to 70 games. That's not happening. It's nice. They're not doing that. They're not going to. Unless you come up a way to replace that revenue, they're not doing that.
Yeah. Man, one of the best seasons that they had was that strike or lockout shortened season when it was a sprint to the finish, where they have 50, 60 games, something like that. I know they'll never do it, but hear me when I say it was more compelling basketball. I'm like most fans, I don't even get interested until after the Super Bowl is over and not All-Star break, but the playoffs have begun.
In my opinion, playoffs are too long. How you start in April and you finish in mid-June?
In June.
Playoffs are too long.
It's money.
And that's after 82 games.
It's money driven.
Right.
But same thing. The NFL playoffs are too long. The NFL playoffs are too long. You got used to have 5 teams make the NFL. Now it's 7. It was 6. Now it's 7.
Yeah.
College football too long. All those playoffs are too long too. I'm the only basketball person here, so I'm going to represent basketball strongly. 82 games wasn't a problem in 1975. Wasn't a problem in 85. Wasn't a problem in 95, 2005. Not a problem in 2025. These guys are brands now, so they want to take care of themselves more. Owners want to take care of their investments more. And the owners are the ones who tell players, you don't need to play today. That's the players. That's the owners' decision. That's not the players. The players are the ones saying, yeah, coach. 95% of the players want to play. If the owners say, well, if we lose a draft pick, if we win too many games, well, then maybe we need to sit him down a little bit more. So that's an ownership issue. So tanking, how they're going to fix that? Well, Commissioner Silver, you need to convince your owners to stop resting their star players. Stop incentivizing them to rest their star players. I'm old enough to remember Michael Jordan said, I'm going to bust my ass every game because it could be that one fan sitting in the upper deck will be the only time see me in person. So I'm going to play hard for them tonight for that fan. Owners have the same responsibility.
I think you've got, and I'm not doing the 6-7 thing. I think you've got a mix of a lot in that lasagna, that gumbo. Let me tell you why. You went from owners to player, and the general casual fan can't do that or won't do that. Don't do that. They see it all as the players are spoiled. They're the ones who are saying, "Don't play me," this, that, and the other. When you got an owner behind the scenes saying, "Yeah, I want this guy, and this guy on the bench." I mean, heck, we had a football coach that got fired here in Houston because he won the last game of the year. I know AD's gonna say that ain't why the sole reason why he got fired, but it helped.
Well, he already knew he was walking out the door, so he
what did
just
he do?
left him he left him a parting gift.
There you go.
He left him a parting gift, and guess what? It's a good thing they probably did not get the first round.
I give that to you. I give that to you. I mean, he literally saved them from themselves. My point is, you've got ownership, you've got management, you've got very few players that put themselves in the game or take themselves out of the game. So if there's a tanking problem, you start at the top and work your way down. The Utah Jazz played in our faces the other day. And that's what made Silver start to say, "Yeah, we got to do something." Because they literally looked in his face and said, "Okay, number 1, sit down. Number 2, sit down. Number 3, sit down. Number 4, sit down. Number 5, sit down." That's what the ownership did. So that's why the organization had to suffer some punishment.
$500,000 worth in fine. But at what point, this is for everybody watching on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, etc. At what point did it become the thing to know how much players are making? Because it wasn't always the case.
But that had something, Chris. That goes back to those agents and representatives. That was about building these guys' brand. That's all was mixed into the deal about building a brand, because that's true. I mean, who knew what they were making and so forth. But the bottom line, this is all about brand making and everything else, and also the agent that's involved in it. Because look, this is everybody's out to make a bag for themselves too. It's more than one Louis Vuitton bag is out there being sold and being bought. And so, you got to sort of add the agents into this thing as well. And not only the agent, but that agent, that marketing representative company that goes along with that. All of that is part of that mix, that, as AJ called it, that gumbo. That
he called it gumbo and lasagna. So yeah, he's trying
to. It's like my mom used to say. I used to walk in the house, "Mom, what you got?" "Oh, I got a little Dooley Joe." "What is that, Mom?" I put a little of this, a little of that, took all the old, stuff that was in the refrigerator, threw it all in there, and guess what? It tasted well because ain't no telling what many seasons have been in there for 2 or 3 days, but it still came out. It came out, as she called it, her Dooley Joe.
But remember, now we're seeing the media, the journalists, the sports insiders say when they announce a player signing, acquisition, whatever, player X represented by agency Y, Z. The hell I care who that is. That's No.
Yeah, that's your marketing angle of it, man. Come on.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. The agents, how do I want to say this? They very rarely work for the current player. That is always about the next player. See what I got him? See what I got him?
You would have got him, right.
Get you more.
So, that's where the fans look at the money that these players are getting. And again, as we've all said in almost every FTS that we've done, 175 this tonight's, no one is holding a gun to the owner's hand to say, "Hey, don't sign player to that much money." There's not one of us watching this show, listening, who will tell an owner X, "Well, you sure you want to give me that much money? That's I'm not sure I'm worth all that." All of us are going to say, "Do you make sure you have my account info accurate? Do you want to? Can you wire it to me right now, or do you need me? What do you need from me? You have all my ID. What do you need so I can make this money go through? No one is going to say no. No owner. No, no. You want to give me $100 million for a year? Woo. Oh no, I'll take 95. No one's going to do that.
And to piggyback on that, I use the example of Glenn Taylor, the former Minnesota Timberwolves owner, when he signed KG to a 6-year, $126 million contract. He's not making 90 if he's paying KG 126.
Right.
So he clearly has the wherewithal to pay KG and his entire roster and the entire organization their salaries and still live at a high level. So that's why it's always amazing to me when fans come at players. It's like, as we said, ownership.
Can I add on to Willy's point?
Please do.
So we know how much players are making. Sometimes we know how much coaches are making. We I ain't gonna sugarcoat. We have no idea how much the teams are making, i.e., the owners are making.
Right, correct.
I'm looking right now at Spot Track. It's players. Players didn't put that up. Agents didn't put that up. 0 on the owners, 0 on the teams.
So it still surprises me, and to what Will said, how many fans get upset at the players for the money they're making. James, I think James is going to James in Cleveland eventually, but he's going to take what the Cavs give him. And if it's the $13 million to go away, then James have to go somewhere else. But overall, the thing with James, article in The Athletic, it's like a new era in NBA. All-star players, future Hall of Fame players, are not playing for just one team in their NBA career. James on his 6th team, KD's on his 5th team. Other star players have bounced around the league. AD's on his 4th team. So what are your thoughts about guys, star players, choosing to go play elsewhere? Is that a problem?
I don't think so.
It's called free agency. That's what Kirk Flood wanted, man. This goes, and I guess I'm aging myself, so we have to explain who in the hell Kirk Flood is, because this was about players being able to have movement and go and get their bag. Okay, Kirk Flood was the sacrificial lamb in Major League Baseball that just sort of opened the floodgates for all these guys to start making that serious type of money. So,
but many of the stars, they aren't making moves be free agency. They're being traded. They're forcing their way out via trade.
Well, if you got the hammer, you use the hammer, Chris. That's what a superstar can do. I mean, it's only a handful of players who can pull that stunt. Okay.
Agreed.
I shouldn't say stunt. I mean, if you have the hammer that you can wield Thor's hammer and command a trade, then you're gonna do it. I mean, that's where we are now. You went from a player who was once locked into one team for perpetuity until, from the time they're birthed until the time until they put them in the grave. That's not the case anymore. It's called free enterprise system. And the players fully knew exactly what's going on now. We talk about what these owners make. You're talking about billionaires with a big B making millionaires out of little small M's, medium M's to large M's. Remember, it takes how many million to become a billion? Okay? That's not these guys' sole source of making income. When most of these guys, when they buy, unless you were one of the original founding owners, when these guys come into this, they are well versed in having billion dollar worth of assets. This is just sort of like, oh, hey, I think I want to go buy a team. Oh, good. Here you go. Bingo. In case in point, go back to the deal about when the Chargers, when the Chargers and the Rams, in that whole Stan Kroenke thing, because that was not the original deal in NFL. Jerry Jones blew that up. that was Richardson, the Panthers, who really was going to make that deal. Jerry Jones came in there, blew that deal up, and what the owners got out of it was a whole new NFL studios that was built right along with SoFi Stadium, and it didn't cost the owners one penny.
Speaking of
He put
NFL, recap the big game from last Sunday. Who wants to go first?
halftime. Halftime was great, man.
Okay.
I mean, my Spanish. You know what? My Spanish came in handy.
You see my Puerto Rican palm trees.
Oh, hey.
That's it. Oh, yeah. Nice touch there, Queen. Nice touch. Yeah. But
Now,
the game itself. How was it, Mr. Credentialed Person?
Let's see, the game itself, pretty much, I'll be quite candid with you guys. I thought I was sitting there for about the first quarter and midway to the quarter with all those field goals. I thought I was watching the Houston Texans offense out there for a little bit, because you had two superior defenses. I know AJ would really like that one, but then all of a sudden, but really, and I think I mentioned it last time, all the Houston Texans had lost all those teams anyway. But the one that I put my money on was the fact that I thought that the Seattle Seahawks, with that dominant defense, and a lot of folks after the game would ask me, even when I got back to Houston, what did I thought? I thought the game was boring. I was having a field day. I was loving it, because folks was, from my perspective, they were just controlling the line of scrimmage, doing what needed to do, and in the second half, it was unreal. And here's the quote that got me, and this is a quote from Leonard Williams. He said at halftime, and it was just 12-0 at halftime. He said they was going out there to pitch a shutout. He said the game was over. In their mind, Seattle Seahawks came out the dressing room per Leonard Williams. He said, we got this game in the bag. There was nothing that the New England Patriots could do that they was going to disrupt them from their mission. And they basically just went out there and just annihilated them. Period. End of story. But going back to halftime, I was enthralled with halftime. I enjoyed it.
Will?
So I'm having football withdrawals now. But after seeing the St. John and Providence Flyer mess up the other night, I'm going like, hey, you know what? I forgot about football, man. It was a Royal Rumble. After I saw that.
Will, your thoughts on the big game?
The dominant team won. The better team won. Yeah. Kudos to Coach Vrabel and the New England Patriots. They're ahead of schedule. Clearly. Second year quarterback Drake May, first year head coach Mike Vrabel. He's turning that program around. And I know people say it was the Patriots. What's there to turn around? But
a lot.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. If you really, those that know, there was a lot. That I think 34 new players on the roster this year from last year. So Coach Vrabel, and he's putting his stamp on that program. So we'll see where it goes next year and beyond. But kudos to the Seahawks. And,
AJ?
Yeah, that Seattle defense was so dominant. I literally said at a certain point in the first half that if they got to 15, there wasn't going to be enough offense coming out of New England to beat them. I don't care if they won 15-14. New England was not going to score more than 14 points. And what happened? They scored 12 in the fourth quarter. They lost 29-13. Ray Lewis used to ask his offense, how many points can you give us? And the defense would go out there and do the rest. That's how good that Seattle defense was. If they just got a little bit of help from the offense, they weren't going to give up more than 14 against that New England defense. I will say this about New England, though, and Coach Vrabel. They did what most coaches don't. They maximized their schedule. It was one of the easiest schedules in the league, but they maximized. They beat everybody that they needed to beat at the time that they needed to beat them to get to the big game, and they ran up against a championship level defense, and that's what that Seattle defense was.
Kanitra?
No, it went how I thought it was going to go. You know,
Is that the team that had more Longhorns? Was it the Seattle team? I thought I remembered that right from 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
You mean I'm
Three of
rooting for the wrong team? God, dog.
3 of them.
So, AJ and AD, what do the Texans need to do to represent the AFC next year in the big game?
Win the divisional playoff game, playing the AFC championship game, whether at home or on the road. Now, here's the situation, and will they be able to duplicate this same defensive performance next year? Has anybody, did the 85 Bears come back the next year and do the same thing? Nope. Did that Ray Lewis team, that dominant defense, when he said how many points, were they able to? Yeah, were they able to come back? No. So it's quite obvious that that's going to be some changes from on the defense. I think the Texans are going to add a few more defensive tackles. The bottom line, I think, offensively, CJ, wherever he's got to go and come back, I think they're going to have to. The offense is going to have to be able to produce more than 17 points a game next year in order to be compatible with this defense. Will this defense be as dominant? I just don't see it from year to year. It's just something about it that the NFL will have caught up with them, and it's something they're going to do different. So is that a negative? No, I just think it's the league from year to year. I mean, this year is over with. It's done. Put a period behind it, and we can always go back. But I guarantee you one thing: when training camp starts in July, and we start talking, and somebody gonna reference last year, D'Amico Ryan's gonna say last year's over with. This is totally new deal. And in fact, March 13th, I think, is the official start of the new NFL season. I think it's March 13th, one of those days. But realistically, when that final whistle ended, that was the end of the 2025 season. It's over with. And
Okay.
so,
Will, AJ, hold that thought. 'Cause I'm gonna ask you. Will, how far away are the Browns
From what, Columbus?
from getting to the Super Bowl? Will gives
what are we talking about here?
playing in the big game, not buying tickets, playing in the big game.
Oh, my fault. I'm like, hey, let's be clear.
That far?
Yeah, I want to. Man, 2 years away from being 2 years away. Man, well, the defense is there. It's still all about the offense. They have to replace 5 offensive starters on the offensive line, rather. Let me clarify. 5 offensive linemen have to be replaced. There's receivers that need to be acquired. Yeah, it's going to be a minute.
Okay, AJ, what position should the Texans draft with their first pick?
Offensive coordinator. With the first pick of the 2026 draft, the Houston Texans select an offensive coordinator who has called plays before on any level. Hell, I'll take high school at this point. But until Nick Caserio stops treating the offensive coordinator job as if it's a plug and play, you just grab anybody and put him in there, and then CJ is going to perform at the level he's going to perform. Chubb is going to run like he ran up in Cleveland. It is way more important than that. Experience matters in certain areas, or at least have a safety valve. Somebody goes off the rail, change the signals to the headphones, and nobody's listening to that person.
Okay. Noted. On field.
I said what I said. I said what I said. I don't care about players as long as you got a nut calling plays.
Trade some picks.
Something.
It's a big.
Denver did it. It worked out. They got a coach and an offensive coordinator.
Mr. Moore, do
Yeah,
you concur with that, or you
yeah.
have a draft position?
Oh no, I mean, I'm. It made me want to go back to the Denver. And when we started talking about Sean, the coach out of Denver, till he made that horrendous call instead of you went for that field goal instead of trying to go for fourth, and so instead could have been in the game. So let's we start, and he's supposed to know how to call plays. So maybe calling plays is overrated. AJ, maybe, I don't know.
Ask Kansas City how overrated it was. Everybody said, "Well, Andy's calling the plays. Andy's calling the plays." I mean, he got him a chip. Please don't get me wrong. He got him a chip, but whatever that little extra being on the same page with Eric Bieniemy was, they missed it for a lot of years. And
Well, he's
hopefully
back.
they'll be able to recreate it. But sometimes the get back together is not as good as the first time around. I'm just saying, and that's why I say you got to treat that position as important as it is. And I just don't think the Texans organization has done that.
College football. Trinidad Chambliss won
He
his
got a
court
favorable.
case,
He got a favorable ruling, man. I mean,
granted eligibility for a 6th year. Your thoughts on that, Knitra?
what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for Trinidad and his family and his representatives who, hey, here's the documentation that I should have been granted a medical red shirt. I mean, it helps that you have a judge who has ties to your university. Hey,
You mean he went to Ole Miss Law School too? The judge, is that what you're referencing to, Kanitra? You're not. Oh, you talking about? Okay, I understand.
AJ?
I'm happy for the young man as well, man. Listen, I'm like that for the young people in college and the players in pro. Get your money, man. However you got to do it to get your money, get your money, and I'm happy for him. Get you another year, get you some more NIL, take care of yourself and your family right now. What that man say? Take care of your body, take care of your mentals, take care of your chicken.
Mr. Gibson?
With an S.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the young man. He, it was clear what the scenario, what the situation was. He wasn't trying to, I'll say it, be the young man from Alabama or Nate Oates or anything of that nature.
mm-hmm.
He had a legitimate issue that was documented.
Nate Oates said Alabama did that because they wanted to spur change.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy for him.
Oates and Brett Favre are friends, aren't they? Aren't they? They are, aren't they? Because they think a lot alike. They think a lot alike.
Alabama, they wanted to. They understood that there was a possibility of losing the lawsuit, but they wanted to spark conversation and spark change from the people on high to do something. Y'all don't buy that?
And then you use this young man as a guinea pig.
That they did.
So now I'm curious. I've been thinking about this. I've been asked, but so what happens? I'm sure they won some games with him. Are those games now?
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't they have to? He's an ineligible player.
Yes.
Go ahead, AJ.
He played under an injunction that as long as the injunction was in place, he was eligible.
Okay.
As soon as they got the final judgment that said ineligible, he ain't played no more. So yeah, he did it. He did it like what Astros.
Fair enough.
That's how he started.
Fair enough.
Oh man.
Woo, boy! These comebacks are that's like a hot line of
sports. Nowhere else will you get this conversation and this quick wit from my colleagues and family.
But you know what? We talking about Trinidad Chambliss. You realize there's another player who has got his 8th year eligible. I read
9.
9. Oh, I'm sorry.
I missed the 9th year. Who's the guy with 9? Is it the same person?
The linebacker from Montana.
He got kids
Okay.
playing on the team with him, right?
No, he was in the same recruiting class as Trevor Lawrence and Jamar Chase.
So explain that to everybody watching who may not know. How's he getting his 9th year? What happened?
I can't explain it. I don't know why. I don't know how, but he was granted a 9th year of eligibility. There was something. Actually, I do. He initially signed with USC, but apparently his first 3 years he never actually played, and then he got hurt. And there's a story, but yes.
and then you get the COVID.
Yes,
I was going to say, you get 6 years through, 5 years through COVID.
Yep. So
and then you add a red shirt. That gets you to 6. Where do the other 3 come from?
You get a medical red shirt.
Yep.
7.
Yeah, there's a story. But yeah,
found 2 more years.
But if he didn't hit the field 3 years at USC, then that means when did his eligibility clock actually start?
Yeah,
it never started. So that's 3 years right there.
Right.
He was a practice player for 3 years.
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, go easy on the practice players now. I was a practice player. Go easy. Don't start talking bad about them now. Hey.
No. Hey, look. Let me tell you something. They got to have somebody to practice against. They got to have somebody to practice against. You know, and no. Hey, look. Hey, AJ. I asked Will Anderson Jr. I said, explain to me. Everybody talk about Alabama practices, and he explained. He said, look, dude. He said we got what we call a fourth quarter practice period. This is after going already 2.5 hours into practice. We done hit. He said a fourth quarter, what we call part of practice. He said when they got to the game, man, that was easy. He said we were glad to see Saturday just to get a rest. So, I mean, and I'm sure it's no different up there in Columbus. You know, Will. I mean, you know how that thing goes, man. Come on.
Yeah. Right now, they're doing in the midst of 6 a.m. workouts with Coach Mick, strength and conditioning
coach.
Yeah. And there's a reason that anytime if you ever look at an Ohio State football post on Twitter, there's always the hashtag developed here. And they truly mean that, developed here. It's a program. And they run it flawlessly day by day. So
well,
and y'all got the dollars to show for it too.
Closing moments here. 4 o'clock in sport.
You and Gus Johnson, stay out our pocket. You heard it last night. He was on that. Man, stay out our pocket.
Kansas State, Kenitra will part ways with Jerome Tang.
Yeah, I saw that.
His buyout is $18.7 million before April 30th.
With cause.
With cause.
They fired him today.
Confirmed by a Kansas State source.
About half hour ago.
Because of the Houston loss or what?
No. And ironically, they played well. Cincinnati. They played inspired. They played like a team yesterday. Coach Tang removed the last name from the jerseys. He had 2 of the players in charge of the scout for Houston. The players took ownership of what Coach Tang, called them out Wednesday after that embarrassing home loss to Cincinnati. So it seemed like they had turned the corner. But the irony is, as I was walking from the garage to Tillman's house for the game yesterday, I saw a gentleman wearing a K-State shirt. And I said to him, I'm glad to see you here. And he looked at me, he's like, it's been a long year. It's been a long year.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what's going to happen? Oh, they're making phone calls. They're calling alums to help out with the buyout. And it's not like it's going to happen. I was like, oh, okay. So that was before the game.
Wow.
But he was there as a friend of his, family friend of his, had tickets. UH alum had tickets to give him because they were out of town. I think that's what he said. But he was like, yeah, it's been a long year. And his wife said, yeah, we forgot to bring our paper bags to wear. And I was like, ooh, man. So, but yeah, Coach Tang, another example of receiving a lot of money to go away.
But you said with cause. You said
Yeah,
Yeah,
getting
that's
rid of with
that's
cause.
KP. That's new.
then KP.
So does he get his money?
What are the costs?
Does
I
he get his
mean,
money
that's a
with firing with cause?
They're
with
they're they're
cause.
gonna,
No.
they're gonna try
Yeah.
and fight it.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
So they threw that in there to get it on the table, and they're going to try to defend it going forward.
it's a
Here it
negotiation
is from
tactic.
Pete Thamel and Jeff Borzello. The basis for the cause firing, sources said, is language in his contract that references any activity that brings, quote, public disrepute, embarrassment, ridicule, end quote, to Kansas State.
Hence his post game comments.
Yep.
What did he say some bad words or something?
He criticized the process, not
Whose
having
process?
just not having the money to get the players he want, not and I mean, of course, losing doesn't help his cause. And then the same thing about these players don't deserve to wear the uniform. They don't deserve to wear the letter, that whole title.
See, that part I think they would appreciate. But Coach Tang also said he tried to toss the NCAA under the bus. Tell me what rules we're working with regarding players. Uh, I should have 3 more players on this year's team than I do. Hinting at NCAA players, even though 2 of those 3, the chances of them coming back were remote anyhow. So we were all like, "What the hell is he talking about? They weren't going to play back. They weren't going to be here anyhow." In a NIL, K-State had one of the most expensive NILs in men's basketball. They got the wrong players, the wrong fit, poor evaluation, whatever you want to say. So NIL was an issue. Money was not an issue.
But think back when all of this NIL started, and who was like kind of the first player to kind of make waves in the NIL waters? Nigel Pack.
Oh yeah.
And where was he playing?
TCU.
He ended up at Miami.
He was at K-State.
K-State, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I said TCU, but that's what I meant.
Nigel Pack is still playing this year.
But then we could say, look at Mr. PJ Haggerty.
Sure.
He left Memphis to go to Kansas State for a reason. So, but Coach Tang,
But I mean,
his first year success at K-State to set the bar too high, and he couldn't reach
look for a big influx of money coming into K-State.
Now that he's gone.
Wow.
Okay.
Football and basketball.
Oh.
which is interesting because the football coach wasn't his complaint. One of his reasons was NAL budget was too low.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see now.
So
But-
now all of a sudden,
You bring back one of your own,
now the money they found the money somehow.
they're going to find it.
That's that tail in the banana in the tailpipe
What
stuff
I
there.
found?
Yeah.
Oh, the bag.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine that.
I can't stand them. I hope they lose every game, football and basketball.
Wow. How'd that happen? I'm tripping. I saw it. He was there the whole time.
But like I said, the gentleman, it was just happenstance. We were walking toward the building yesterday, and I saw his K-State shirt on, and we started talking, and he said, "Oh yeah, they're making phone calls right now." I was like, "Oh."
So is Tang done? Is he done? Will he find another job? Is my ultimate question.
It might be a while.
Why?
He might not get his whole $17 million. Come on.
Well, one, he's
He's got
gonna have
to cut back.
a lawsuit to fight to get his money. He gonna do that for sure.
Yeah.
So that won't help. Another reason you kind of know why.
I know.
The losses this year haven't helped. If they played most of their games this season, like they did yesterday against Houston, they'd have more wins. But they didn't. And that's on everybody. Uh, off air, I'll say something else for y'all. But that'll be a great. This is a great point. Great spot to wrap it up. Salute to Willie and AJ and Kenitra and Mr. Moore. Now let me see if I can do this correctly. Because last 2 weeks ago, when I switched to AJ, I put up AD's information. My apologies for that,
There's a
brother.
lot of weight on me, man. It was real heavy, brother. I
You
couldn't
know.
live up to the information.
It's
So let
good.
me
You
go with
always good, man. One of my
AJ.
divine
You
nine
first.
brothers. Yes, you can.
AJ is the producer, so you go first, sir.
Hey, listen, I want to again thank you all for the opportunity to be hanging out with folks talking sports. You can reach me right there at faithandsports@gmail.com. I'm the president, CEO of JM&E Productions, about to go into filming for another project, and it is Black History Month. So, again, I want to say thank you. All right, appreciate it.
Hey, folks, as always, I appreciate the opportunity, the time to sit down here and chop it up with everybody. And as I mentioned earlier, NFL season is over. We put a period behind it, so I'll take a breather for a little bit, and then we'll start looking at the draft. But then you can find me IG and Threads on AdMax Corner, Twitter under AD_more64. Thank you for the opportunity. I also thank each and every one of y'all that showed up on the AdMax Corner show after the post game shows and the comments and everything. I appreciate it. Look for some things to happen down the road as far as the AdMax Corner is concerned, drafts and everything else. Plus, I got a couple of other things I'm working on in reference to the PBIL documentary that I got a chance to go to and get some decent sound from that I still got to put out there. Thank you again, as always.
Thank you, as always, to the panelists for welcoming me, KG, AJ, KP, AD. I'm WG, and you can find me. That was fire. That was off the top too. That was off the top. You can find me as the Girl States IG and Threads Will Know Sports, Twitter Will Gibson7, and Facebook Will Knows.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, family, for the great conversation. Tony, thank you for your support of the Houston Round Bar View. Tony and Dizzy Busy are two of the members of the Houston Round Bar View YouTube members only section that they receive content that no one else gets because they are members of that YouTube function. So if you want to do that, scan the QR code and find out what info that they do receive. Once again, Kim Davis would have been here, but she's in Florida with the Astros. So at one point, we're going to have 6 folks on the screen sharing our knowledge and insight with you. And as always, thank you to everybody for your time, interest, and support. We're going to try to do it again next Sunday. Wrapping it up. Y'all know this. Since 1994, the Houston Round Ball Review. Local name, global perspective. Y'all take care. Peace.